We'll give you information today. Portraits and biographies of YouTuber Lee Armored offline. Born August 18, 1994, 30 years old. Born in Hai Duong province of Vietnam. He lives and works mainly in Vietnam. He was born in the lion's claw, the dog's armor. Body armor 1994. Armored La ranked 4,813th most popular in the world, and 128th on the list of popular YouTubers. Total population of Vietnam 2024. About 100 million people. La is a YouTuber. Famous players of Vietnam. I've been walking through 3 Southeast Asian countries for 5 months. I studied electronics, telecommunications at Hanoi University of Science and Technology. I don't like being an engineer and have a hobby of exploring outside life. I used to dream about Alaska. America wants to be alone on an island on the prairie. Maybe you want to see the beautiful sky in New Zealand. That's why I decided to drop out of school and work. Make money. To take the trips I've always wanted. YouTuber La's first long-distance trip. It's a journey from Vietnam to Laos, Thailand and Myanmar. 5 months walk through Bawater. You've had to go through as many difficulties as visa funding, language, but what that I think of most. My parents are always worried about me. However, I am still determined to make my journey. He returned safely to Vietnam. Reunion with family. On this journey, the biggest problem for him was when he was in Myanmar. You've been under police surveillance for 3 days. They asked you not to stay at the police station. Not camping. You can't sleep in a temple. You have to sleep in a hostel. There are times when problems arise, or when you feel tired, but I never thought about giving up. The most valuable lesson that YouTuber ripens. Original Hai Duong learn. That's kindness. And the human-to-human sharing. In my journey, I met a lot of good people, people who have never met, but still give you care and attention. Just like my family, after walking through 3 countries in Southeast Asia. Armored La cherished. The bigger plan. It's about continuing to walk around the world. The destination you're looking for is the U.S. state of Alaska. With this journey, you're going to have to travel through almost 100 countries. And the territory. On my personal page, original YouTuber Hai Duong shared the photos. Write down the places you've been. I often talk about people and food. The culture of the places you've been. Between Tesla. Meet a Vietnamese man with a dream of walking around the world. A few months ago, when I stumbled across La's YouTube channel, Boy Matures. X is famous for his dream of walking around the world. I was impressed. So press the sign up button and become your fan. It was a surprise when I met Armour in the capital city of Teslan, Uzbekistan, where I live. Don't miss the opportunity to interview, to clear up the questions, and my curiosity about this brave young man. I invited the Armour to my house. Lunch and interview. Before you go to Africa. The next day. A 9.5D time. I also want to share the Armour. Some things to keep in mind when traveling to Africa. I've lived in Kenya for over 6 years. La was born in 1995 from Hai Duong. In 2014, he was a first-year student at the university. Hanoi, he joined a bicycle trip across Vietnam. While cycling in Quang Ngai, the armor suddenly felt the desire to wander, rise from the side. In your urge to explore the world, within just a few months, armor is determined to make that aspiration a reality. So the armor's out of school, looking for a job to make money. Prepare for your journey to the big sea. Armor chooses to walk to experience being slower, deeper, and also because, after 2 years of hard work, and save 16 million in the account, Armor determined to go. I think if I had enough money and experience, I don't know when. Now that I have a lot of experience, I can tell you. May 6, 2016 tattoo on the armor. Mark the day you walk. The first steps on the journey. Walking around the world. When I asked about the meaning of the other tattoos on, the rappers explained at the beginning, I only have one tattoo on my arm. It's called Wabrant Te World. Walking around the world is my goal. Alaskan script. On the belly to mark for the end of the journey. It reminds me of the Wild West movie. Enter the White 2.007. You must have seen that movie. That's right, even though I've had the idea to leave for a long time. But after seeing that movie, I decided that Alaska would be my final destination. Armor departure. From Hanoi to Sapa Dien Bien, then to northern Laos, northern Thailand, central Thailand, Myanmar, then through India. On the first day out of Hanoi, it's very hot at noon in the summer. So the armor quickly gets tired and starts to wear out. But instead of giving up, go home. You decided to take the bus. Go straight to the next point. Gradually, the armor learns to hear the feel of his body. Easy to adapt to moving. It's about 15 to 35 kilometers per day. To save money, please sleep in the temple or camp tent. Sleeping anywhere. Listen to the armor. Even the cemetery. Used to sleep alone in the sacred places of poisonous water. I have blue eyes. While on the Indian, due to run, so he decided to fly back to Vietnam before continuing. Why did you choose to return without staying in India, looking for work? And my experience with, I don't know. I'm not capable. I don't know what to do. Should decide. I know I need to be able to start a business by open. In the first year of his apprenticeship and manage to accumulate home poor, so he persuaded read book to determination to succeed so as not to subvert the faith to this business is starting to, and by the third year we're starting to 2020 when you have accumulated a sufficient, leave the store to your, then continue. How did you react to being on when the business is just? My parents didn't keep it because they, I can't keep it because I decided, and from the very beginning of the manicure to, I told my parents that when I will, now I have baking If you run out of money, I was able to confidently walk into a bakery and apply. I'm sure you're a master. Armor smile, gentle smile, but full of. I created a YouTube channel to talk about my experience for the second time in because I have no so you spent over 100 million buying all kinds. You have to be a pro. The more later. Minimize armor for easy movement. So now, we just need an iPhone, a microphone and a small GoPro camera. Armor was able to produce great videos. I wonder if there's AI to help with video editing Armor. Before posting on YouTube. You surprised me when you answered. Everything is self-taught. DIY from free apps on the phone. I was bored watching the first videos. Rap laughed at me. It was low, so I shot poorly. The video is shaking a lot, but now, it's okay. As for editing and composing videos, be patient. Study and fix it, and you won't get in there. The other thing that surprised me was, I've been through a lot of places, but the Armor doesn't speak English. You said back to Laos. They are so poor that they have no money to buy a phone. Every time I learn a new word, you write it down again. In other places bordering all learning on the road, when connected to the internet, then you use Google Translate to communicate. During the first year of the journey, Armor doesn't even use the phone SIM. Where there is Wi-Fi, they can access the internet. In Afghanistan bordering the risk, please sleep in the apartment base of the Taliban army. Something went wrong when the Armor is confiscated. Furniture, but then it was resolved. To the friendly and hospitable Afghan. Very cute. In many places. Just stop the Armor for a second. The whole village came around. They're always curious about you, so they ask all kinds of questions. By Google Translate. Of course, they don't speak English, and neither do you. There's a lot of nice people. Do you ever feel lonely and want to give up? Sometimes I'm a little tired of wandering, but now, I just need to sleep. The next day was full of energy to keep going. The intimate conversation must end. Because the Armor has to be ready to go. Video editing, the latest on the Korean community. Living in Uzbekistan. To post YouTube and pack your bags. Things that made this special guy's brand. On a walking journey around the world. It's a foldable cart designed by the Armor itself. And the backpack. There are some clothes inside. A pair of Vietnamese shoes and slippers. I especially admire the positive attitude and always fun of Boy 9X. This is possible. Armor. Bringing the spirit of Vietnamese youth to the world. On roads that are not flat. As thanks to the stories that the Armor shared, we know that somewhere is full of love. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention. If you see or like the video,